So thank you very much again for the opportunity to talk to you about Boombirds. Thanks a lot for sharing about your business and the challenges that you face. So what we're going to do now, as I shared, is I'm going to show you a brief overview of the main features of Boombirds that address the challenges that you have mentioned and obviously the benefits. So what you see here is what we call the Smart Service Board. And each of these cards represents a ticket or what we call service request, job that is allocated, that is a particular item or process that you need to be completed. And what you can see is there are three separate sort of filters around that. There's my activity, team activity, and account activity. My activity are the things that I am directly responsible for. So you can see two things. Team activity are the things that the teams that I'm a member of, which can be multiple, responsible for. Account activity are the clients, customers that I am responsible for. Now, you can see here they're split into three sections: to do, doing, and done. So if you're not familiar, this is following the Kanban methodology or lean methodology, and it's essentially designed to make your processes more efficient, more productive. And by setting up Boombirds in this way and by configuring your request this way, it means that you are subtly adopting those lean methodologies. And to do really means the work, the pre-work that's done before the main activity. Doing is the core job, and done are kind of the post work. So it could be, an example for your business would be, to do is preparing the documentation for the filing, the doing is the filing, and the done is the billing. And this is designed to give you that bird's eye view of what's happening in operations. So here we can see that there's 15 tickets going on under this team activity. And you as a business owner might prefer to look at everything that you're responsible for. And we have this multi-dimensional filter up here that allows you to see this information by all these different parameters. So for example, you might look at assign team, and this helps you to spot bottlenecks. You can see that the only people doing the work and the doing in the fulfillment team, and you might be happy with that, but equally you might see that as an opportunity to make a change, or by individual assignee, or by service category, or by service type. And so you can see here that there's 4 IT filings that are in the to-do stage. And if we click on that as an example, it brings up all of the other IT filings in relation to where they are in the process. So one thing you mentioned is actually that customer communication is a real challenge for you. You shared that you have to deal with WhatsApp, and it's very difficult to figure out exactly what for your team to figure out maybe what the request is in relation to. It's phone calls, it's very sort of chaotic. And what Boombirds allows you to do is to actually have direct communication with your customer inside the service request. So this is an example service request, but you have two options. You can potentially send a simple message through to your customer, which goes in the form of an email, or if they're on the platform too, you can actually have a chat facility with them. And this allows for your customer to potentially contact you in relation to a request, but equally you've potentially to reach out to them for information. Also, should you wish to have emails configured where you might have a group mailbox that you run, then that group mailbox can be connected to Boombirds, and you can send and receive emails that way. So this is an example of where an email has been sent out. So what I'd like to do now is just to show you a little bit more around the standard operating procedure and compliance aspect, which you shared is obviously a challenge as well. So we just take an example and create a simple request. It's asking me to choose customer, and it's asking me to just fill in some simple information. These are obviously all configurable for yourself. You choose the service date, and then it asks you to select a team. So we believe in self-organized teams. They again, it promotes efficiency and productivity, and depending on when you configure this, you get to choose whether it's automatically assigned to one group or whether the person who creates it should be given the opportunity to assign it themselves. Now I'm part of this group, and so it's asking me if I want to start working on it as an example. So a few things here. First of all of this is, as we said, is configurable. But also, if I choose to start the work, you can see that now it's assigned to the fulfillment team and it's assigned to myself. Here, in terms of process adherence, this is where, depending on your need, you can capture various information as you need to. So you can create custom forms. So here we just want to collect the name of the client. You can also potentially, and you can see here, again, for compliance purposes, if you don't fill in certain fields, it will actually tell you to do something else. So if we go to the next step, you can see it's now asking for more information to be captured. And now we have checklists. Now, checklists are, as it sounds, are rather than you collecting data, it's just a question of reminding you to do something. So in this example, it's collecting the pattern number and the passport. Equally, you have the ability to write action logs, which are not able to be edited and will be shown in the activity record that allows you to see a full audit trail of everything that's happened in relation to this request. And you shared obviously that compliance is very important. This allows you to demonstrate that compliance. So one other thing that you did mention was that you have quite a lot of retainer services. Now, just taking you to this area here, you can see that this is where the configuration takes place for the types of services. But what I would like to address here is the recurrence policy. So recurrence policy allows you to set up recurring services at whatever intervals you need them to be set up. So if we just take a look at this one's set up for monthly, between this period, and it tells you when the policy should run, and you also get to choose which customers in relation to. So this obviously will speed up your operations because you're not having to do anything manually. It will ensure that tasks are carried out when they need to be, because your team aren't manually having to create them, and so it ultimately just helps to make your team more efficient. So one other area I wanted to show was in relation to the workflow itself. So when it comes to the setup, it's very, very simple. Boombirds, if you know how to use Excel in terms of being able to put process in Excel, you don't need to have any programming knowledge. You don't need to even have any real business analyst knowledge. If you know your process, you can put it in Boombirds. And as we said, we have the Kanban methodology here for to-do, doing, and done. But here, for example, in the to-do section, for this particular example of statutory audit, we have 3 separate steps. And here is where you choose what you want to capture, what checklists you might want, and equally, you can work on the service. As we said, it's auto-assigned teams, intelligent routing. But crucially, it also allows for you to, if the linear step is not potentially the next step, because maybe there's a fork, maybe there's an opportunity for an approval, and if you haven't got all the information, then you can't obviously approve it. You have the opportunity to actually have an alternate step. So in this example, if the verification isn't verified of this information, the previous year's audit, then you can have the option for it to actually go back a step to go to a different area. And it's as simple as just choosing the name of the action and the step that you want it to go to. The last thing I wanted to show you today was actually, we did touch earlier on the customer communication. Now, if you're inside Boombirds, we shared that you can have the chat, you can have the email messaging as well. But one thing that we feel customers really benefit from is if you are a customer of Boombirds, you obviously can access it. You will really only just have this view, which means you see the wallboard, which is a place where information can be centrally shared by by yourself with your own teams, but also with your customers. But here you will see services, and here is essentially a real-time view of the services that are being carried out currently by your team for me as the customer. And here you can see all the relevant information that you would need to see, direct messages, for example, emails, etc. And we believe this is a very powerful tool to help you really improve visibility of your customers, increase customer satisfaction, and ultimately make your customers' life easier. And I think that's something you shared was very important to you. So I appreciate you giving me the time today. And should you wish to have a deeper dive, please let me know, and we'll schedule that for you with someone from the customer success team. And should you have any questions, then we can get into those right now. Thanks very much.